About time. I'm glad you came. I was starting to think I was in the wrong place.
Greetings. What's going on?
What do you mean, what? I'm waiting for you. I have news from you know who. I've done everything just as we discussed. Tell his lordship we'll get things started the day after tomorrow.
Good tidings indeed.
Indeed. How many men does Riddle propose to take in the end?
He'll be taking 10.
All right. I'll get weapons for him. Old Luke has been taken care of. Blabbed everything he did. Where are we gathering?
We'll meet at the crossroads.
Which one?
The same as always.
We've never met at any crossroads. What the hell kind of plan is this? Who the fuck are you?
I'm from Riddle, aren't I?
Oh, yeah. From Riddle. And I'm the bleeding Virgin Mary then, eh? To hell! Fucking hell! Fucking hell!
Fucking animal! Mercy! Spare me! I'll kill you. Christ!
You'll be sorry, fucker! Come on!
I'm all yours!
Mercy, leave me be!
Show what you're made of!
Enough! I give up! Oh!
Greetings. You silly doggy.
Look what I have for you.
I don't know myself. Somewhere where we can get a good night's sleep and some grub for a bit of work.
Isn't that what we call home?
Not a chance, that's not for me. I always need something new.
Stop that whistling. Oh, it's just you, eh? Uh-huh.
Go! Go! Go!
You mangy mutt. Good day to you.
Where can I find Handsome Charlie?
What's it to you?
Shut up and take me to him. I've got a message from Jules.
And who would that be, eh?
A big fish.
Aye, surely sounds fishy. But I'll let Charlie deal with it himself. Follow me.
Who are you? And what are you doing here?
You're Handsome Charlie?
There are them that call me that.
I bring a message from Jules.
That fucker's still breathing, eh? That's news to me. What does he want?
Your head. And I'm to deliver it.
Then you're in the right place. But you shouldn't have come here alone.
I came alone to challenge you to an honorable duel.
Why should I soil my hands with the likes of you? That's what my men are for. Even if they are just a bunch of thick-headed charcoal burners.
So that you keep face in front of them. Do you really think they'll keep listening to you once they see you're nothing but hot air?
What did you say? Stand back and nobody move. This piece of shit is mine! Pray for a quick death, you bastard! Alert! To arms!
You murderer!
God grant you help. How can I help you to...
I'll have a look at the... Let's talk about...
All right. Aye, you're convinced. I hope you'll be satisfied, my friend. Excuse me?
sir.
Lord be with you.
I took care of Charlie. He's dead.
Yeah, I reckon he's not so handsome now, is he? I'm glad that fucker's dead. Did you bring me a souvenir like we talked about?
I've got it right here. Hope I didn't get any blood on it.
Aye, that's the one. Oh, that bastard really had good taste. But I don't plan on wearing it. Someone might mistake me for him and stab me in the back.
How about a reward? Surely I've earned something.
Believe me, I'd gladly give you something. If only old Samin wasn't such a miser. I'm starting to believe he really isn't as wealthy as he used to be. But, if you like, you can keep Charlie's cap.
I'll take it. It would be a shame for it to sit in the bottom of a trunk somewhere.
Be my guest. But, if you end up with a dagger in your gut because someone mistook you for Charlie, don't come crying to me.
So what now? I reckon I'll have to wait again, won't I?
Aye, unfortunately. Give me a day or two, then I'll know where to send you. See you soon, my friend.
You have a kind master, eh?
Oh, das ist nicht gut.
Easy, good horse.
I need... Thank you kindly, and come again, friend.
of this. Why are you wearing our things? You must have stolen them. Give up.
Easy now. I surrender.
You're a thief, and you're even stupid enough to be wearing what you stole.
Oh, please. Look at me. Do I look like a dishonest man? This is all just a misunderstanding.
Oh, I apologize, my lord. I must have made a mistake. Let's just forget about this. Careful.
It happens! Just watch where you're going next time.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
I've heard there are some interesting ideas in it. Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom, especially those from Prague.
Perhaps you know more about that book than I do. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new books at the time, and the one you're looking for caught his attention. He left with it before I could even discover what it's about. All I remember is the author's initials, B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard's help, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now. I'd like to ask him to return it, but he's been avoiding me.
Why would Nickvard suddenly be avoiding you?
I have a sneaking suspicion. It seems Nickvard lost the book. I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in his chamber and read them there. But Nickvard is old and stubborn, and this is how things turn out.
The price of such a book must be incalculable. People like Nickvard are too dumb to understand.
But I digress. As I said, Nickvard is intentionally avoiding me. But I've made headway. I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha, the cook, Regina, the maid, and Hirsch, the hand.
For a nobleman, Nickvard is quite wary of his own kind, speaking only to servants.
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone but myself. Nickvard is a loner, which is also why I suspect something bad has happened. Now that he's decided to leave his shell, that is. But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkove's arrival, I've been preoccupied with other matters.
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nickvard.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
I won't keep you any longer.
The Lord be with
About that lost...
Please tell me
First, I need to find the people who might have run into Nickvard.
who exactly?
You said Nickvard is avoiding you. Where at the castle does he live? Are there any places he frequents?
Nickvard lives like a hermit here at Trotsky. Like a ghost. His chambers are in the Crone's Tower. But God knows if he's ever slept there. He took his meals down in the Crone's kitchen. Lately, I've often seen him talking to Regina in the Knight's Hall, in the Maiden, or looking out the hall window. I caught sight of him a few times with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle.
So I just have to hope I run into him somewhere.
Nickvard always just shows up. I've rarely ever found him on my own. I'm not surprised you can't find him anywhere, since I've been trying myself.
Where is Bertha?
Bertha cooks for us in the Crone's kitchen. She's there most days. If you can't find her there, try the first house in the lower castle, across from the door to the dungeon.
Where is Regina?
As Lord von Berkoff's personal maid, she'll likely be somewhere in the Maiden's Palace. Perhaps in the Knight's Hall, or on the floor above it, near the Lord's chambers. She even sleeps there.
Where is Hirsch, the stable boy?
I've seen him with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle. He sleeps in the house directly across from it. I don't know him much, though.
That's everything I needed to know.
Christ, pardon me.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Well, I'm waiting for Lord Libac to stop by. I brewed him another phial of medicine, but I don't even know if the last one helped. I told him to stop by for another one soon. I reckon he must be feeling better.
Did he say where he was headed?
I can't say. I promised Lord Libac his secret is safe with me, as well as his phial of medicine.
Oh, come now. Nickvard misplaced an important book somewhere. A sort of alchemist cookbook. I need to find it.
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord Libac's secret is certainly worth more than any book.
Well, if a nobleman's secret is worth so much, how about this? That'll buy you more than one book.
I suppose Lord Libac wouldn't mind. And do you have the exact amount?
Of course.
So many groschen. I promise I'll split it with Lord Libac when I see him, and I'll explain everything.
But now tell me, what's the medicine for?
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. It helps your meals go down easier and come out slower the other end. In that regard, Lord Libac had, well, how to say it? Everything came out much too quickly.
Nickvard didn't have time to run down the stairs, eh?
It was in the privy down below the Crone. By the training ground, below the guardhouse. I helped him clean his hose and made him the medicine, and I promised that I wouldn't say anything. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on the young maids, you know. He didn't want this little episode to put them off. That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters, though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena instead, and only when there weren't any soldiers around. But this time, it caught up with him.
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire time he looked as if he'd done the worst thing in the world. It happens to the best of us. And I told him as much then. I'm just surprised he never came back for another file. I must say, he did look as if the fate of the entire castle was suddenly on his shoulders.
I don't know if this is going to do me any good.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
Good morning.
Do you know where I can find Nickford? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickford and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickford.
Aye, I heard you. Say, can you read?
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickford?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Say, Lord Capon. Never mind. Read on. Though I reckon it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in my way. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn. But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
That was complete nonsense. I was embarrassed to read it.
Imagine how I felt having to listen to it.
But what does it mean? Can you explain any of it to me?
Lord Liebach has taken a liking to me. I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. He thought I meant he was too old for me. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame in him that would burn out all that's old. So I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about, but what does he mean, into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here, talking about some old lovelorn nobleman.
I understand. Just one more thing, please. When was the last time you saw Nickford? And where?
The last time was in the Knight's Hall. But that was a long time ago. I found that message a few days ago. Hard to say where he's off to.
Thanks anyway.
It happens! Just watch where you're going next time.
Any idea what that was? Was that you?
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
God be with you.
You too.
Why the long face?
Oh, I've just got this nasty premonition.
Nice and slow.
Good day.
Lord be with you. I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord Libac. I almost forgot about him. I suppose his task wasn't so pressing, hmm?
What task?
Nick Libac, that is, entrusted me with a big task quite a while back. He's a castle lord. Obviously, I had to obey him. But then I heard what another castle lord was planning, von Berghoff, and I had to obey him even more. He says there's a war on. So here I am, ready to go off to battle.
I need to know more about what Nickvard asked you to do.
No. There are new rules now. You have to prove you're not a spy.
I understand. Sure. Just tell me what you want, and let's not delay.
A sword.
Sword? Hmm? What sword?
A long and very good one to help me deal with other spies. If you bring it to me, I'll know you're not an enemy spy who should fear me. Forge one, buy one, or even steal one for me. Maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate. During the day, they're not in the towers anyway.
Steal a sword? That sounds like something a spy would do.
Not a spy who wants to help von Berghoff's most loyal servant. By servant, I mean me. See, once I get a sword, I'll fill you in on Nickvard's task.
You wanted a sword?
I don't want an
I'll think of a way.
Excuse me.
Good to see you.
Stop that whistling.
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Henry, good morning.
How's life treating you?
Not too bad. But I've got so much. I'd have to split myself in two to get it all.
What would you like?
What do you have?
I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
But they're never good enough for you.
Well, I don't want some good for nothing in my house. I need someone who's capable.
Whoa! Halfway there.
How did it go? I went to see him, but he threw me out. What am I supposed to do then? You should go and see them. Nobody else can help me. Oh, Reese. How could I have forgotten about him? Maybe because I don't think he'll be able to solve my problem. Heartfelt prayer saved entire masses of Jews and children of Don't tell me. Can't help with a little thing like yours. A little thing? So you're insulting me too now?
What are you doing, you
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Huh?
Blessings to you.
About...
Got that sword.
You want...
That's perfect. I don't think you're a spy. Can't say for sure, but you seem all right.
What about Nickford, then?
Nickvard asked me to do something for him. He must have admired my devotion to Lord von Bergoth. Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him something he lost outside the castle. And I told him I would. At least I could check to see if anyone was sneaking around about the castle. But then Nickvard clutched his belly and ran off. So I never found out what he wanted, or from where.
That's all?
Aye. If you run into Nickvard, ask him if he still needs it or whether he found it himself. I'll be going into war soon, so I don't have time for these things, see?
I'll tell him.
Praise the Lord. And with you.
Easy. Good horse.
Good day.
Ave Maria.
Praise the Lord. Greetings. Careful!
I apologize.
Good doggy.
Ka!
Quick. Whoa, whoa. What a fucking day.
You must be Nick Vard, eh?
Blessings to you. Another senseless death. Ugh. Starting to stink.
Sand-coloured cover, embossed. That'll be the book Crazel wants, but it's quite ordinary. Apart from being covered in shit.
Senseless. Death.
Good day.
God bless you.
I'm sorry. You silly dog.
God bless you, sir.
I have the book for you.
Well, I must admit, I haven't had an apprentice this handy in a long time. Zinnik has nothing on you.
I didn't even look inside.
You had a treasure like this in your hands, and you weren't even curious to have a peek? Well, I suppose it's not for everyone. I'll have a look for myself. This really is something. But why is it all covered in shit, for fuck's sake?
Let's just say the scribe didn't have it. It actually wasn't even in the castle. Under it, really.
Oh, refining saltpeter. Boil wine and alum. Grind. Ah, of course, it makes sense. I'll study the rest on the way. Well, the last chapter of our story of knowledge awaits us. The grand finale.
So what now? Do you have another job for me?
Charcoal. Sulfur from Hermes Trismegistos. Saltpeter from the carcass pit. As long as Black Bertolt didn't make any mistakes in his calculations, we have everything.
What Bertold? Oh, God damn it, Crazer. What's going on here? I'm tired of flying back and forth like a rag on a stick. I won't be led around by the nose. Will you finally tell me what's going on?
Believe it or not, all this secrecy had its reasons. But now I don't have to hide anything from you. It's time. We'll meet with the others in the lair, and there you'll learn the whole truth. You go ahead. I'm going to get a few things ready here.
All right, then. I hope you keep your word this time.
Hey! Your horse nearly trampled me!
Quick! Quick! What'll happen now?
Our last supper, with only one but very filling course, awaits us.
Crazel, please. For once, just once, tell me what's actually going on.
And rob myself of enjoying your blissful ignorance? Not a chance. Tell me yourself. What do you think is going to happen?
Like always. You'll send me off somewhere to look for something, and you'll have a fancy speech to go with it.
He knows you now as well as we do, Miller.
I do tend to do that, true enough. But no, today things will be different. Bonnie will start today. At least I'll finally see if she understood my teachings. Bonnie?
First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the whole gang for all the work you've done. We could never have finished the job without you. We found 2 new partners, you and Monarch here. It's good to have someone to rely on. So, it's time we started being honest with you, so you can finally learn the whole truth.
Not yet. Let's pull up that uppity bastard's leg a bit longer. That's the fun part!
One more word, Zinek, and you'll get one on the nose.
Calm down, friend. I'm just kidding. Tell him then, Bonnie.
This whole time, you've been collecting ingredients and clues for us. But, so you wouldn't go nosing around, we always told you it was for something different than it actually was.
The miller here calls it tackets.
Tactics, you idiot. And everything worked out according to plan. So today we're finally close to our great success. With the help of Hermes Trismegistos and his successors, we'll finally complete the dream of all alchemists. Our magnum opus.
Exactly, Bonnie.
Magnum opus. A great work of alchemy. You're trying to make the Philosopher's Stone.
I see you've learned something after all. But no, the Philosopher's Stone isn't our goal.
Let's see then, Henry. What is it you think we're making here?
I think you're minting fake coins.
Well, Henry's not too far from the truth after all, don't you think? Everybody wants to get rich. But that wasn't the original intention. Let's start at the beginning. My father was a miller as well, but I was never much interested in the trade. Even as a young boy, I loved running around Lower Samine and investigating everything living and dead. And I had a lot of questions about everything. And my mother, God rest her soul, decided it'd be best for me to go to study in Prague. As soon as I grew up and gained a bit of sense, I packed my bags and left.
So you went to a university in Prague? The son of a miller?
Why not? My father worked his arse off, and he had the coin for it, miller or not. I met a lot of remarkable people at the university, and my thirst for knowledge kept growing. But in the end, it only took a year of all that pretentious, scholarly blathering and hypocritical nonsense for me to realize I wouldn't learn anything proper there. Most of the students and masters are just a bunch of dogmatic fools. They have their own truth, and those who want to know more or ask the wrong questions fall into disfavor, as was my case.
So they kicked you out?
I didn't give them the pleasure. I left myself. The most important science is not subject to any religious dogma. And, of course, it's not taught at any university.
You mean thievery?
Oh, come on. The art of combination and dissolution. The key to understanding the very nature of the world. There's only one queen of science. Alchemy. I returned to the mill in Lower Samine and started a new life.
New life? What do you mean?
I returned to the miller's trade. My father was old, and my mother had passed away. From then on, alchemy became my true passion. I brought a few important books from Prague. I started with the most difficult thing. I tried to create gold.
That was pretty daring of you.
As you might expect, it didn't work. But after a few tries, I managed to create something entirely different. Once I tried mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. I had a candle burning next to me. A gust of wind scattered the mixture, and all of a sudden, bang! I almost shit myself, I tell you. But then I realized I'd unwittingly created a miracle. explosive black powder.
What is it? So it burns?
More than that, it makes a big bang.
A very big bang. But don't worry, we're all in on it now.
I couldn't continue my experiments on my own, but Bonnie and Zinnik did a few little jobs for me.
So he initiated us.
But we just still didn't know how to do it right and not blow ourselves up in the process.
And we used up a huge amount of saltpeter and sulfur.
By the way, the manuscript from that Hermes Trismegistos was our shopping list and price list for material from Kuttenberg.
Only we didn't know correct proportions. I looked up a few of my former fellow students and brought it up with them. And we found out that before us, some monk had already made the discovery.
Some fella called Black Bertold. And that he even started writing a book called
Feuerwerkbuch.
We couldn't believe our luck when we found out there's a copy of it right here at Trotsky.
And you know the rest.
It's a discovery that will change history. In the right hands, it can make miracles happen. All it takes is a spark, and a storm of fire will sweep away the old world order. It will wipe out stupidity and ignorance, once and for all.
And what will happen now?
As I said, we're about to have our last supper on our journey to satisfy our hunger for knowledge. A feast of smoke and fire. Black Bertold never finished his book, because he never had enough ingredients for his last great experiment. But now, thanks to you, we do. We can finally finish Bertold's work and finish his book. We'll see with our own eyes what a barrel of black powder can do. I hope you're as excited as I am.
I've heard enough. Now I want to see that with my own eyes.
Let's do it then. Bonnie, is everything ready?
Indeed it is. We can get started. Long live the beautiful new world.
Looks like it ain't working.
I'd say it works just fine.
This will change history.
What? I can't hear a thing. But I'd say it works just fine.
Actually listen to you if my ears ever stop ringing. Oh, you pooch.
You really led me on about the gunpowder magazine, didn't you? A golem made of dough, souls inside saltpeter, the secrets of light and shadow. That was all just empty talk, wasn't it?
Not exactly. It's all based on the real philosophy of the Jewish Kabbalah. I studied the writings of Bonaventura and Dietrich von Freiburg, but it was never in my interest to put their theories into practice. But they worked brilliantly as a cover-up, don't you think?
I really thought you'd have a golem made from dough walking around the mill, or that I could become invisible.
Ah, but black powder is no less a miraculous creation.
So for the last time, Crazel, what now?
I'll do what I promised, and what will most likely be my fate. I'm going to gather together all the knowledge I've acquired and finish Black Berthold's book. I'll finish his opus.
Uh-huh. And what about me?
That's up to you, Henry. You're a free man. Lord Sameen has no hold over you, and never did. You know, the inevitability of God's plan takes no interest in people like you and me. We'll always be little people, beneath it all.
That sounds somehow hopeful in a peculiar way, I'd say. Now I'm even happier about the great thing we've accomplished here.
The ideal conclusion, I'd say. Maybe it's time to carry sacks at a different mill. But if you're still interested in learning a bit more, drawing from the well of alchemical knowledge...
I know where to find you.
Indeed.
Black powder? I'd never have expected that from Crazel.
Imagine, that monarch of ours is half deaf.
That dog of yours? What does that have to do with the gunpowder magazine?
Just that I was wondering that the explosions didn't bother him at all. At least he won't suffer here. And now I'm not surprised he was so unhappy with that bastard Vasarik. But we surely fooled you, eh? You had no idea we were making black powder.
We're in the middle of the forest next to a mill. I'd have expected more like you were cutting the flour with acorns or something.
We tried that too, but wood shavings are better.
So you'd rather go around licking the walls of sties?
Just you wait until I have my own castle and everyone calls me ma'am. Then we can talk about whether it was worth getting our hands dirty or our tongues. I apologize.
What is it you need?
Praise the Lord.